Welcome back to the Valley of Mines. June 2026 is just around the corner, and with it the Gothic 1 remake will finally drag us back to this amazing world. For years the gaming community has treated this masterpiece not just as an RPG but as a religion. But before you step through that magical doom, you have to face the single most important decision of the game: which camp will you swear your allegiance to?
There are 3 camps within the barrier. The old camp is the biggest, and it was the first.
This choice changes everything: your armor, your teachers, your magic, and how NPCs treat you. It even mirrors the cosmic balance of the universe itself, just like 3 gods, the 3 mythical brothers of this world. You have 3 distinct factions to choose from that perfectly echo their divine forces. Today we are tearing down all 3 camps to their absolute core. We will look at their pros, their brutal cons, and rank them by immersion, story depth and gameplay variety. Whether you are a veteran planning your next run or a newcomer preparing for the remake, this is everything you need to know. Before we dissect each camp, here's a golden rule that every smart player needs to know about Gothic. You do not need to rush this choice. In fact, the absolute best strategy for Chapter 1 is to min-max your journey. Go to all 3 camps, do the entry quests for every single one of them before making your final pledge. This allows you to milk the maximum possible experience points, level up early and get a true taste of the colony before signing your life away. Now let's look at where you will be spending those skill points. The old camp is the poster child of Gothic 1. Built around a massive medieval castle, it functions less like a government and more likely a highly organized mafia protection racket. Forced stability: you start at the very bottom, paying protection money to the guards like Bloodwind just to avoid getting beaten up in your sleep, while the ore barons live like kings inside the castle. From the pros, first, the economy. It has the most concentrated marketplace, making trading and gearing up incredibly smooth. Second, the style. The guard armor sets are arguably the most iconic designs in the entire franchise. And third, if you want to become a fire mage, this camp offers the most linear, logical path into the high lore of Innos. Finally, it's come to Diego, the ultimate bro and your first true ally in the colony. Let's not forget also about magician Milton, who is another friend. From the cons, you are a tool for a brutal dictatorship. You will have to swallow your pride just to get noticed. More importantly, the old camp faces massive political tension later in the game. If you commit your heft here, the story sets up a dramatic twist that will fundamentally shake your sense of security. Oh, and there is a Matt, absolutely the best NPC friend you will ever make in the colony, a true fan favorite who will never ever leave your side. Trust me, you will find out soon enough. The new camp is a massive cavern by a lake. The new camp is a chaotic mix of mercenaries, thieves and roach mages. They are united by a single desperate plan: to blow up a mountain of magic ore and blast the barrier open. Keep in mind, magic ore is the literary currency of this world. They are plotting to blow up the colony entire economy just to buy their freedom. A crazy idea, sure, but who is going to stop the free will of Adanos? This camp is rough, loveless and fiercely individualistic. No one pays protection money here. If you can't defend yourself, you get robbed. Or worse, you get forced into grueling slave labor carrying water for the Rice Lord's tax. It's a pure meritocracy of strength. For the pros, absolute freedom. No bowing down to barons, you work alongside legendary characters like Lee, Lares and Gorn, who respect capability over hierarchy. On top of that, it offers the best early combat training for heavy builds, and it's the only camp that lets you seamlessly transition from a frontline warrior into a high-tier water mage later on. For the cons, the welcoming committee is hostile. The roaches will literally trick, rob and beat you up the moment you step into their fields. The early game here is a harsh, unforgiving grind. Plus, the layout is a nightmare. Expect a lot of running back and forth across a massive scattered area. The swamp camp is tucked away in the deadly fog-covered swamps. The Brotherhood worships a mysterious ancient deity called the Sleeper. Led by their charismatic spiritual guide Immersion, they spend their days harvesting swamp wheat, meditating and chanting under the watchful eyes of their gurus. They are very atmospheric, deeply bizarre and cultist. It's a fascinating mix of religious zealotry and a massive drug cartel operation. For the pros, fast-track magic, you don't have to wait until late game to cast spells, the gurus grant you the access to unique mind control and wind magic almost immediately. Then there is the Templar aesthetic, slick combat skirts, unique tribal tattoos and cool two-handed swords very early on. Finally, it's the easiest camp to climb the ranks, relying on clever puzzle solving rather than rough combat. Plus you get Lester, your master diplomat friend who literally coaches you on how to trick the gurus into talking to you. For the cons, there is a glass ceiling. The Brotherhood's magic is structurally limited, meaning pure mage builds can't reach the highest circle here. Geography is also a nightmare. The swamps is crawling with bloodflies and swamp sharks. One wrong turn at level 3 means instant death. And lastly, by chapter 3, the Brotherhood's main plotline effectively collapses due to major story events, leaving you feeling a bit like an orphan. Best for immersion, story and drama, if you want to truly experience the living world of the colony rather than just play an RPG, the absolute best choice is the Swamp Camp. Why does it win immersion? The daily routines of the NPCs are unmatched. You walk past novices mashing swamp wheat, gurus lecturing silent crowds and Templars guarding the gates against the creeping monsters. Combined with the hypnotic ambient soundtrack, the atmosphere is incredible trick. It feels like a real dangerous cult isolated from the rest of the world. But there is an even bigger narrative reason why the Swamp Camp takes the crown. Due to unique structure of Gothic's plot, starting your journey here opens up the most dynamic narrative path in the game. When unexpected story shifts occur, you will be naturally guided to transition into the other camps to continue your journey. If you play your cards right, this faction allows you to organically experience the culture, perspective and gameplay of all three camps before the credits roll. This makes the Brotherhood the most versatile, logical and rewarding choice for a true deep dive into the valley. Of course, not everyone wants to go bald and smoke swamp wheat all day. If you want a more traditional, old-school Gothic RPG experience, the Old Camp is your definitive alternative choice. It sits at the literal center of the colony, creating the ultimate illusion of power due to Gomez holding the king himself by the throat in trade negotiations. Why does it win on pure dramatic weight? The entire emotional arc of Gothic 1 relies heavily on your relationship with this place. Starting as a lowly prisoner, earning your Crimson Guard armor and standing shoulder to shoulder with Taurus creates a profound sense of belonging. And that deep connection is exactly what makes the mid-game twist hit so hard. It sets up one of the most impactful plot twists in Gothic RPG history. Choosing the Old Camp maximizes the emotional highs and devastating lows of the main plot, making it perfect definitive benchmark for your first journey into the barrier, while beautiful justifying the choices you are forced to make later on. But what if you despise dictatorships and you don't care for religious cults? Then your steps must lead you straight to the new camp. This is the ultimate path for the rebels, the outlaws and the min-maxers who want unmatched gameplay flexibility. The new camp doesn't care about your lineage or your faith, it only cares about what you can bring to the table. By aligning with the Lee and the Water Mages, you gain access to the best rough physical combat scaling in the early game, alongside an unhindered path to devastating high-tier endgame magic. If you want to build a true powerhouse character who bows to no master, answers to no king and shapes their own destiny, this cavern is your true home. So, which camp will it be? Will you chase the rough power and heavy drama of the old camp, the lawless chaotic freedom of the new camp, or the deeply atmospheric, mind-bending path of Immersion's Brotherhood? In the Valley of Mines there is no wrong choices, just different ways to survive. Drop a comment below and let me know which factions you are picking on day 1 when the remake drops this June. Hit that like button, subscribe for more Gothic breakdowns or maybe other videos, and as always, see you behind the barrier.